Doing now, Be'ez Hashem Yisborach Maseches Demai Daf Hey. Start the Mishnah Halacha base. Demai ain't like Chomesh. Demai does not have the din of Chomesh. And exactly what it means, you have to see in the Gemara, because there's actually two times when Chomesh is mentioned, either by Meiser Sheni, if you pay the Meiser Sheni out of Chomesh, or if you eat Terumas Meiser Shel Demai, because Demai has no Teruma. But let's say you separate Terumas Meiser and the Zar eats it, he has to pay back a Chomesh, Karen a Chomesh. So it could be he refers on that. So we'll see in the Gemara. Ve'en le beer, it has no din beer. It means that Erev Pesach, you have to clean out all the leftovers remaining Meiser Sheni. But this does not apply by the Mai. You don't have to be Mavar Meiser Sheni. Usually the fourth year, if there's any Meiser Sheni money or fruits that you didn't use, you have to burn it. But by Meiser Sheni of the Mai, this rule doesn't apply. The Nechel Onen, also it's eaten for Onen. We know Meiser Sheni, it says in Parashat Kisovai, Leichalti v'Oini. Onen is not allowed to eat. But Meiser Sheni of the Mai has a cooler, it could be eaten for Onen. Another din, v'niches Yerushalmi v'yoytze. Usually there's a din Meiser Sheni, once it goes into Yerushalayim, you cannot kultur mechitzas, and it cannot be paid. It has to be eaten in Yerushalayim. That's the din of regular Meiser Sheni. Even if you cannot redeem it, even if you take it out of Yerushalayim. You must eat it in Yerushalayim. This is the din, it's kultur mechitzas. But here we say no. We say that there's no din kalita mechitzas. You can take it out of Yerushalayim and you can redeem it, and then you can just eat it Meiser Sheni outside, that fruit that you redeemed. It's already chun. What exactly it means, we have to see in the Gemara. You can also give to Amaretz in Yerushalayim Meiser Sheni Shel Demai, and you can eat something against that, but Kedushas Meiser Sheni. Kesef and Choishes are Paris. Even that you can do. First you redeem silver on silver, and then copper on copper, and then silver on copper, then copper on Paris. Then you take the final fruits and you redeem it again on money. No, you can't go so far. Once you redeemed it on fruit, so all these things are going to be explained in the Gemara, all these details. Let's start off with the first one. The first one was that there's no beer. There's no din beer. What do you mean? That Meiser Sheni has no beer. The whole beer is already gone. Yochanan Kohen Gadol hever adoyis meiser. It says at the end of Soite, Yochanan Kohen Gadol, he was mavatal the whole idea of vidui meiser. The Gemara thought, because this parsha of vidui meiser, you say the fourth year. So the Gemara thought that there's no din beer anymore. There's nothing. The whole thing is over. The Gemara says, no, come on. Because there's some problems because they didn't do it kivitzvasa. But he didn't say you don't have to make beer. He never said that. You don't make the vidu that follows the beer. There used to be a vidu following the beer. Doesn't mean you don't have to make beer. So, in the times of Yochanan Kohen Gadol, for sure, it didn't take away the mitzvah of beer. You still need to do it. The Mishnah teaches us that the Mai does not require beer. Mai does not require beer. That's the din. Tana, nechel banina, and nechel betumah. Ma'aser sheni shel demai, you can eat baninos, but not betumah. Ma'aser sheni we know is din like v'arti meni betomei, nechalti ba'oni. There's an issue to eat baninos and to eat betumah. Tumas aguf or tumas atzman. Gemara is asking ma bein anina, ma bein tumah. Why did the Chacham matter ma'aser sheni shel demai baninos? Amar Nachman tumah metzuya, anina ena metzuya. Gazra davar shemotzi, gazra sheina motzi. The whole thing is the Rabbanon, the old Ina of Tamei. So only goes davar shemotzi. Tumah is motzi. So that's why the only goes on tumah. Rabbi Yasa, afilu kesofik tevel. Rabbi Yasa said an interesting remark. You should know, afilu kesofik tevel loy asu oisei. Ilu sofik tevel, sofik niskan ma'aser sheni, sofik loy niskan. Sofik tevel. What means sofik tevel? Sofik niskan ma'aser sheni, sofik loy niskan. Let's say you have sofik, 50-50. You don't know that you got mixed two piles. You don't know if it's tevel or not, and you separate ma'aser sheni and sofik. For sure, it's also fine. So this is a remark that Chachamim were makel by Demai a kula that not just because it's a sofik. A regular sofik, you wouldn't be allowed to eat a baninos, the ma'aser sheni. Here, Demai has a lot of kulas, so we say that you're allowed to eat baninos, the ma'aser sheni shel Demai. Tamatanina. It says in the Mishnah, Truma to ma'aser shel Demai. Zara Oichlon, it's a Mishnah in Bab Metzia. These things that need a Chomesh. It says clearly that you pay a Chomesh. If a Zara eats Trumas ma'aser shel Demai, he pays a Chomesh. He said that Demai is no Chomesh. So Gemara thought now that the Mishnah says Chomesh, Demai does not have a Chomesh, it refers to a Trumas ma'aser shel Demai, that's also a Zorim. And if a Zor eats that Truma, does not need to pay a Chomesh. And there it's, and this is our Mishnah, and there in Bab Metzia it says that is a Chomesh. Rabbi Zera, Tamat Anina Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. Ram Hoche ma'aser sheni shel Demai. No, it's not the same thing. We're talking about two different things. There in Bab Metzia we're talking about Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. So that has a Chomesh. If a Zor eats Trumas ma'aser. Here in our Mishnah we're talking ma'aser sheni shel Demai. You want to redeem ma'aser sheni shel Demai, you don't need to add a Chomesh. You want to redeem ma'aser sheni shel Demai. Different stuff. Omer Imi, in a Mishnah says Yitzim dem Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. No. Our Mishnah also talks about Trumas ma'aser shel Demai, and it says that there's no Chomesh. So it is a steer actually. And our Mishnah is saying everything regarding the Chomesh is not noig. So it means that there's no din Chomesh if a Zor eats Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. But in the Mishnah Bab Metzia says there is Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. There is a Chomesh. Ma'ikedoin, Tamar of Meir, Gemara Rabbanon. The Gemara there in Bab Metzia also explains that this Mishnah that says there's a Chomesh is always machmer by the Rabbanons like the Eraisa. You see it a lot of times in Shas. Meir says by for a nechtev, aflad mamzer. So Meir is very strict with Gzeres Chachomim. So Meir holds that Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. This is the Mishnah in Bab Metzia. Trumas ma'aser shel Demai, you have to add a Chomesh. Like a Chomesh ma'aser if you want to redeem it. And our Mishnah goes like the Rabbanon. The Rabbanon says there's no Chomesh. There's no Chomesh with Trumas ma'aser shel Demai. Our Mishnah includes everything. There's no Chomesh by the Pedia of ma'aser sheni. Reb Zeir Om V'Shem Rabbanon Bedin Hoyer Trumas ma'aser shel Demai Shel Yafe Sholeo Chomesh. Really, so he goes again. It seems from here he's going back to that Mishnah that it is there is a Chomesh if Zar eats Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai. And I guess he holds even the Rabbanon agreed to that Mishnah Bava Metzia, that Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai, if you eat it, you separate a Chomesh. Lama Sheyafresh. Shnei Shel Geder. Imat Oim Eloi Shel Yafresh Afu En Eloi Bak Bigdusha. He's not going to regard this whole thing that Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai Bigdusha. So there we have to be machmer that a zar eats a zar that eats Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai should separate a Chomesh. Another thing he says, we didn't know if Ma'aser Shein Shel Demai Sheyafresh all of Chomesh. V'lam Omer Shel Yafresh Mepnei Geder. Here's the opposite other way around. She'im At Oim Eloi Sheyafresh Afu En Mafresh Kol Iker. Interesting. So it's the Chacham made a takana, two takanas. Number one, Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai, if a zar eats it, you should give a Chomesh, in order to show that you have to separate it. It's a something. You know, the guys who say the whole thing is not necessary. So because you see it has no kedusha, a zar can eat it. It doesn't. So you say no. If a zar eats it, you have to add a Chomesh, and that's why people will separate Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai. On the other hand, Ma'aser Shein Shel Demai, the Chomesh said you should not have to add a Chomesh by the Padiyah. Then people are going to be too lazy. Here's the other way around. Because here, the fact that you don't add a Chomesh is not such a, we see that you don't add a Chomesh by somebody else's Poida. So it's such a, nobody's going to say, since you don't add a Chomesh, you don't have to separate. That's not a good philosophy. Here, it's the other way around. We rather make it easy for him, like this, he should separate it. So it always depends what the situation is. All the Chachamim thought, so this is a new answer. A new answer. This is this whole sugya here, chilik. I remind here, you should know, this is the chilik. Lataretz Tiras Hamish Oy Tirat According to this Mahalach, it can go, I would say, according to the Rabbanon maybe, and we can answer that the Rabbanon, that not Meir, say Meir Rabbanon, we can say either Meir Rabbanon, it's just a new answer. So actually before we answered that Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai is, you do need to give a Chomesh. That's what we said. This was the Tamat Tina Trumas Ma'aser. But Amalacha Ma'aser Shein Shel Demai. So he says, Ein a Mishnah associates with Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai. The Mishnah said Trumas Ma'aser also does not need. But this is obviously doesn't go with this. Reb Zera, so I guess Reb Zera's mechazik his own mahalach. Mishnah. So rather we could say better Reb Zera is saying not like Reb Amma. Reb Amma says that this Mishnah says Trumas Ma'aser Demai you do not need to add a Chomesh, and he says it's not true. You do need. So rather I'd say Oy Mishnah is better to write Hezber Lashitas Reb Zera. So anyway, it says the chilik. Okay. Bin bachia boya kumer blo. Lomali demai afila vadai. Lomali miut afila roiv. ولكن تاني مبين ترمى نجاين لإيلا من مبلا يشوب أم كانوا يسوي ما كش خارج رارتي مبيا نيت الدم من الشيبت. It says the Mai can be ma'abed mi'uta bedrachim. Ma'abed mi'uta bedrachim. And he's talking about Trumas Meiser. Even though the Mishnah talks about Trumas Meiser also. This whole Mishnah, you see, the question is, when it says in this Mishnah, Ma'abdem es mi'utay b'drachim, what is he talking about? So according to this Mahalach, we're talking about Trumas Meiser shel Demai. Ma'abdem es mi'utay b'drachim. Means Trumas Meiser shel Demai. لما دماء في البعض لما مية في الربا دي كانت هون إمبين تروم ناقوين إيوه ميدو ولا يشوا كان مثلا بيوكش خارج بيدا. So there's a din, you don't have to. في البعض even تروم بعض. Because according to the other shit, the mission doesn't talk about Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai. According to that, l'chayrim abnes mi'utoy bedrachim would mean maybe Ma'aser Sheni. Maybe everybody agrees that we talk about Trumas Ma'aser. Not sure. It seems from this Gemara that everybody agrees Ma'abnes Mi'utah B'drachim talks about Trumas Ma'aser Shel Demai, not talking about Ma'aser Sheni. Ve'ein mitzvah l'hashiv aveda, al ma'abiyasi mitzvah hu l'hashiv aveda v'muad, and mitzvah l'hashiv aveda v'davar meruba. Me'abdenes mi'utah b'drachim. What does this mean? Mitzvah l'hashiv aveda v'davar muad. Ve'ein mitzvah l'hashiv aveda v'davar meruba. It's a very interesting language. It's opposite than we would say. It's not a mitzvah v'davar perish chodesh miyat means it's tzormi etes. Ein mitzvah l'hashiv aveda v'davar meruba means you need to have a huge tithe. You don't not mechuyev to do it. Huge hoitzah. V'vadai. But Tamei, afila, but that's all when you're talking about a vadai. Then we say not mechuyev. It's all meruba. But Tamei, afilu b'davar muat ein mitzvah l'hashiv aveda taninim abne es mi'utoy. It's a very interesting pshat. Even if the tzormi etes, you can still, you don't have to care about it. So there is a difference between vadai. The difference is that vadai, if it's a tzormi etes, you have to do it. only for tzom meruba. Tzom etes, only tzom meruba you don't do it. Tzom meruba you don't do it even by vadai. But my affiliate with Dover, even the tzom etes, you're not mechuyev to do anything. The tanina ma'abnes mi utoy, even the tzom etes, you can be ma'abed b'drachim. When it comes to vada, only for tzom meruba, you don't have to spend too much money. And elokan hoyse b'chai geratam eviyam noit dom min hashevet means by tzom etes. A tzom etes. Then I'm mechuyev to do it. Okay, now ad kedoin b'she'ein moed b'yedei moed. So b'yedei moed. So up to now we're talking about Trumas Meiser. Now I'm going to talk about Meiser Sheni itself. So if he doesn't have cash in his hand, he can just throw it in garbage. That's it then. Even if there's a tzomi etes, let's assume that's the title of the Mishnah, Uta means even with tzomi etes. However, if he has money, why not? So we're going to write here, in order to understand, Ma'abdin Meiser Sheni. He had money in his bag, he didn't care. That's a din, Meiser Sheni. Now, I'm not sure if this he touches mi'uto, even if it's so mi'etes. Or mi'uto means if it's very little. Oh, okay, the Gemara is going to say something here that they're going to make. Asle B'chir Baba Kreb Zira. And B'chir Baba had this minig. Chemis, the son of B'chir Baba, said over from his father that he's talking about Meiser Sheni. So he learns Ma'abnes Mi'utay B'drachim means Meiser Sheni. Reb Illa, Reb Lok, Reb Amma. Reb Illa says no. The Mishnah doesn't talk about this. The Mishnah only talks about Trumas Meiser, not talking about Meiser Sheni. So this is the question: the Mishnah talk about Meiser Sheni or Trumas Meiser? Remember, before we had Amma says that the Mishnah talks. Our Mishnah talks even about Trumas Meiser. That's how you learn Pshat in the Mishnah. That there's no din of Chomesh. Reb Illa is the one that where's Reb Illa here? Here, the Gemara here. Lamali Demai for the Vad Mamiyat for the Roy Vikantana. So he understood that this Mishnah talks about Truma. That's why he asked. You have to answer the Chilik of Vadai and whatever. But he both understood the Mishnah talks about Truma. Baby on Amr. Pachas Ma'oichel Mutal Abdoi. Less than a Kebeitza, you're not to make it get lost. But porous. Aber b'shalom atke groigeris. If it's a one full piece, it's a full, like called a barrier, then even if it's only a groigeris, you're not allowed to damage it. Yerushalmi Tzadik b'shalom atke groigeris. Porous, I feel like kama mutter. He just said the statement b'shalom atke groigeris. So it says, well, Paris Atpel Khan Mutter, or he's saying that once it's already broken up, and even if it's more than a kibetza, no, you don't know that. Anyway, this whole subject we see from this, they learned Meuta means a little amount, a small amount. So not like we said before, Meuta means even if there's a Tzor Mi'etes, the whole different pshat, even though there's a Tzor Mi'etes, you do not mechuyev to do anything about it. Evada only at some aruba, some etus you have to take care. But this is a different pshat. So that's why I wrote here mitel av miktsosoi, because there are obviously two pshatim in this Mishnah. Look the Mishnah. Lekeyach lezera v'lebheima, v'kemech la'oiris v'shem l'neya, shem l'asa was a kelim. All these halachas are special halachas by Demai. If you're not using it for consumption, you're using it for seeds or for other purposes, for commercial stuff, to manufacture leather, or for oil, for reading, Shem also b'sakelim, the garments, they polish it. There's no din of the mai. And this is we had this before, that this is lav dafka. Let's just finish this Mishnah, then we'll finish the tape. Chalas ha'ma'aretz v'ha'maduma. What's mit chalas ha'ma'aretz? Ha'ma'aretz nois ha'chala l'koyen. Ein tzorch la'afish many trumas mais and mais sheni. Interesting halacha. Ha'ma'aretz goes over to a coin, gives him a piece of challah. So the question is, the coin should start worrying. Maybe this challah, they never separated Trumas Meiser and Meiser Sheni. So before I eat this piece of challah, I have to separate Trumas Meiser and Meiser Sheni. We say no. The coin can eat it without any worries. Amaduma, this Arif Truma Bedemai. Nit nakul lekoin ve'en choishiv shum damai. So that's what is happening here. Truma got mixed. Meduma means, and truma gets mixed into chum. It's called meduma. If it's less than 100. So what happened was that Amoritz had chum, has let's say 80 pounds of apples. And 1 pound of truma got mixed. So he has no choice, he can't eat it. So he gives it for a kohen, he charges him money, obviously, for the 80 pounds of chum, but he can't eat it because it's less than 100. So he gives the whole package for the kohen. And now the kohen says, oh, but hold on, this 80 pounds is, who says it's chum? It's according to Ramar, it's chum. Maybe he didn't separate Maestros, Meiser Rishon, Meiser Sheni. No, Kohen doesn't have to worry. Anything that has a kedusha in it, as he saw in this Mishnah, Chomim did not apply the rules of the Mai to that. Alakur Kasef Meiser, another halacha. A person goes in a shop, wants to shop something in Yerushalayim and Pamama Oretz. same thing. Since you're doing with this kedusha stuff, you're buying your kezemaiser, shir manachas, turim admai. All these items, we had here a list of a lot of things. You had chalas ha'ma'aretz, meduma, kur kezemaiser, shir manachas. You had 4 things besides the things that are meant for not for human consumption. Shemen Arav, Shemen Chai, Mesel Paitim. There's one more item here. Shemen Arav. That's oil that smells good. And you smell La'ariach boy. That's the perfume to smell good. The Shammai says it's Chai, but still says it's Patim. Okay, now this is the end. We finished now Daf Hey, and Daf Vov. Daf Hey and Daf Vov. Let's stop the recording.